It saddens me to say this. We are witnessing the wholesale corruption of Christianity. The radical left is in a race against time to dismantle every last pillar of Western civilization. And their latest assault targets the very foundation of our faith, the Lord's Prayer. Yes, that beautiful, sacred prayer taught to us by Christ himself, now being mutilated, twisted into a grotesque parody of itself by so-called progressive Christians. Have you seen this? A video has surfaced from St. Paul's Anglican Church in Essex, Ontario, featuring what has been dubbed the most cursed version of the Lord's Prayer. And let me tell you, that description is being charitable. This isn't just some minor revision. This isn't some harmless modernization. This is a blasphemous butchering of Holy Scripture. A deliberate distortion designed to replace the gospel with the radical ideology of the woke left. Here's how it begins. Our mother and our father, our beloved parent in whom we move and breathe and have our being. Excuse me? Our mother and our father? What is this nonsense? The Lord's Prayer begins with our Father because that is how Christ himself addressed God. It's how he taught us to pray. But no, that's not inclusive enough for the cult of wokeness. They need to erase masculinity, erase tradition, and redefine God in their own image. And it gets worse. The glorious hallowing of your name shines forth in the diversity of your children. Diversity. That word has become a euphemism for the destruction of Western civilization. Diversity. What about the holiness of God? What about righteousness? That doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that we celebrate diversity as the highest good, even if that means discarding the truth of Scripture. And then we have this gem. May your peace and love, justice and equality, inclusion and belonging reign here on earth as in heaven. Now, to the untrained ear, this might sound lovely. But read between the lines. Justice and equality, in the context of the woke church, means radical redistribution, punishing success, and elevating grievance over merit. Inclusion and belonging means erasing biblical morality in favor of celebrating every kind of sin imaginable. And here's where it gets truly stomach-churning. Grant that our transgender loved ones might have their daily needs met, that they might find employment without discrimination, that they may have access to medical care without fear, that they might have their rights and lives protected. Let's call this what it is. This is not a prayer to God. This is a political manifesto, a laundry list of woke demands. God, give us gender ideology. Give us puberty blockers. Give us surgeries to mutilate the bodies of confused young people so we can pretend biology is a lie. This is heresy of the highest order. The purpose of prayer is not to ask God to bless our rebellion against his design. The purpose of prayer is to submit ourselves to his will, to seek his wisdom, to acknowledge that he alone is sovereign. But in the progressive church, God is reduced to a rubber stamp for leftist activism. Then, of course, we have the inevitable forgive us for the ways that we have fallen short and failed your beloved transgender children, as well as our many trespasses. There it is. There it is. The unpardonable sin in the woke church. Not obeying God, but failing to affirm every identity, every lifestyle, every demand of the grievance industry. It's not forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. No, the progressive church doesn't care about actual sin. What they care about is making sure that every letter of the LGBT acronym is worshipped as a modern-day golden calf. And then the coup de grace. Lead us away from the temptation to be complacent in the face of injustice, but instead give us the courage to stand up for and with your beloved children. Lead us away from the temptation to be complacent in the face of injustice, but instead give us the courage to stand up for and with your beloved children. Translation? Help us be good little foot soldiers for the revolution. Help us dismantle tradition, tear down morality, and replace Christ's kingdom with a woke utopia. This is not Christianity. This is Marxism with a thin religious veneer. This is not about faith. It's about ideology. The same ideology that has infiltrated every major institution, our schools, our governments, our corporations, is now worming its way into our churches. And we can't stand idly by while this happens. This is spiritual warfare. And I don't use the term lightly. The forces of darkness are at work here, trying to destroy everything that's good, everything that's true, everything that's been the foundation of our faith for over 2,000 years. If the woke left can rewrite the Lord's Prayer today, what will they rewrite tomorrow? The Ten Commandments? The entire Bible? And don't think this is an isolated case. We've seen it before. We saw it when a research fellow at Trinity College in Cambridge gave a sermon claiming Jesus had a trans body. That's right. According to these so-called scholars, Christ himself wasn't just fully God and fully man. He was also somehow gender fluid. Never mind the gospel, never mind scripture, never mind 2,000 years of Christian teaching. No. The important thing is that we retrofit Christ into the latest woke talking points. And then there's Pastor Deblier K. Snell of Oakwood University Church, who stood in his pulpit and claimed that Babylon, the very empire that enslaved God's people, was actually a model of diversity, equity, and inclusion. You can't make this stuff up. The woke church has taken one of the most infamous civilizations in biblical history, a civilization synonymous with evil and decadence, and turned it into an aspirational role model. This isn't just blasphemy. This is deliberate. This is calculated. The woke left knows that if they can infiltrate the church, they can neutralize Christianity as a force for truth. They can transform it into something safe, something neutered, something that won't stand in the way of their radical agenda. And the progressive Christians, in quotes, going along with this charade are their willing pawns. But we have a choice. We can either cower in the face, or cower, rather. We can either cower in the face of this blasphemy, or we can stand up and say, no. No, we will not allow the left to redefine our faith. We will not stand by while they rewrite Scripture to fit their agenda. We will not accept a world where Christianity is reduced to just another tool of the progressive machine. The Lord's Prayer is not up for debate. It's not up for revision. It's the prayer given to us by Christ himself. And we won't allow it to be twisted into woke propaganda. So our duty as Christians is to guard the faith, stand firm in the truth, and resist those wolves in sheep's clothing. The question is, will you stand with Christ, or will you bow to the woke mob? Because there is no middle ground. The line is being drawn, and it's time to choose a side. Hey, this is Richard Syrett. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe.